How much money did you spend last month on things you never planned to buy? Take a second with that question, because most people can't answer it. Not because they're careless, but because the spending happened in small, invisible moments. A price that looks too good to ignore, a small purchase that somehow becomes three, a late-night purchase that felt like a decision, but was really just a reflex. And the next morning you woke up, checked your bank account, felt that quiet, uncomfortable feeling, and told yourself the same thing millions of people tell themselves every single day. You only live once. Here's what I want you to understand about that phrase. YOLO. You only live once. It started as a reminder to actually live, to take the trip, to quit the job that was killing you, to stop postponing your life waiting for some perfect moment that was never going to arrive. That's not what it means anymore. Somewhere along the way, corporations, marketers, and the entire consumer economy hijacked that phrase and turned it into a spending trigger. They took a philosophy about courage and converted it into a justification for giving them your money. You only live once became buy now, pay later. You only live once became treat yourself. You only live once became you deserve this. And they put it in the mouths of influencers, in the copy of advertisements, in the design of apps, until the line between living your life and spending money on things blurred so completely that most people can't tell the difference anymore. That is not an accident. That is engineering. Let's talk about what's actually happening in your brain when you spend impulsively. Your brain has a reward system. At the center of that system is dopamine. And here's the thing about dopamine that most people get wrong. Dopamine is not the pleasure chemical. Dopamine is the anticipation chemical. It surges not when you get the thing, but when you expect to get the thing. This is why the act of adding something to cart feels good. This is why browsing feels good. This is why opening a shopping app at 11 p.m. when you're bored feels good before you've bought a single thing. The moment of purchase is actually the dopamine crash. The high was the wanting. The moment you own it, the chemical is already gone. And your brain, being the pattern recognition machine that it is, learns quickly that the only way to get that feeling back is to start the cycle again. Want something new, search for it, get close to having it, buy it, repeat. This is not a character flaw. This is not weakness. This is a biological loop that trillion-dollar industries have spent decades studying, mapping, and deliberately exploiting. Now let's talk about the other layer. Because the dopamine loop explains the impulse, it doesn't fully explain the scale. The reason people in 2026 are spending at levels that would have been unthinkable to previous generations is not just brain chemistry, it's identity. At some point in the last 20 years, what you own became who you are. Not in a subtle philosophical sense, in a loud, visible, social media documented sense. The bag you carry is a statement. The phone you use is a statement. The sneakers, the watch, the apartment you show on your story, the restaurant you check in at, all of it broadcasting something to the world about what kind of person you are. And this matters because human beings are wired for social belonging above almost everything else. The fear of being perceived as less than, as struggling, as not doing well, is one of the most powerful motivators that exists. So people buy things not because they want the thing. They buy the version of themselves the thing represents. They buy the feeling of being someone who owns that thing. And that feeling lasts exactly as long as it takes for someone else to get something better, which is why it never ends. Now here is where the YOLO philosophy collapses under its own weight. The person who spends compulsively is not living their one life more fully. They are slowly selling pieces of it at retail price to people who understand exactly what they are doing. As Dostoevsky wrote 150 years ago, your worst sin is that you have destroyed and betrayed yourself for nothing. For a temporary chemical hit, an empty bag, a product you stopped thinking about the moment it arrived at your door. The machine that produces compulsive spending is real, it is sophisticated, and it is pointed directly at you. But a machine only works on you if you don't know it's there. Now you know it's there. And here is something else worth understanding. Winning with money is not about buying whatever you want whenever you want it. That is what they sold you as the dream. The real feeling, the one that actually lasts, is not the high of a new purchase. It is the quiet confidence of knowing that whatever happens tomorrow, next month, or next year, you will not panic. So the next time you feel that pull, that restless itch to buy something, that sudden urgent need for a thing you didn't know existed 30 seconds ago, pause for exactly 1 second and ask yourself one question. Is this me building security, or is this the machine running its program?